Hola, buenos dias. This is Kaypacha with the weekly Pele report. This is for July 15th of the year 2015. And we are, right now, today, practically as I speak, having a new moon in the sign of Cancer, the 24th degree of Cancer. At the same time, we're having Mercury in a conjunction with Mars. That's joined with, conjoined with Mercury and Mars, joined together, both in the sign of Cancer, in opposition to Pluto. This is going on today, right now, as I speak, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about what that means as I give you a little bit of a tour of the backyard, because I'm just not going anywhere today. This is part of what I'll be talking about, is Cancer. We got the Sun in Cancer now, Mercury and Mars in Cancer in this opposition with Pluto. We've got Venus up there breaking away from a conjunction with Jupiter and coming into this, it was exactly square Saturn on the 13th. It's going up and it's going in to Virgo on Saturday. Our goddess Venus moves into Virgo on Saturday, where she's going to station, retrograde, and come back to us again, and square Saturn again. And it's very fascinating that we're going to have, I'll talk about this more when I'm looking at the camera, but exactly at the same degree, because Saturn is stopping, going direct at the 29th degree of Scorpio. So Venus is going to go up, and it squared it last week. It's going to stay squared. It's going to go into Virgo, still square it, and then it's going to come back and square it again, but Saturn is still on the same degree. So we've got this whole month of Venus squaring Saturn at the same degree. So we'll talk a little bit more about what that means and the Sabian symbols involved with that. Next week, we also have Mercury is squaring Uranus, and then finally next Tuesday the Sun comes into a nice trine with Saturn. But next week is next week. I'm going to talk to you more looking at the camera now. Okay, hola. I'm going to try to smile today, even though it is a very irritating, frustrating kind of time that we are in right now. Just consider this. Mercury and Mars, my thinking, and my warrior, combining together equals like arguing, debating, really like digging in with, passionate intensity into, the communication realm in the left brain, in the sign of Cancer, which is my childhood and my memories and my emotions and, all this, issues that can come up from the past. Opposite Pluto. Yes, Pluto up here in Capricorn as being transformation and demands and expectations. And so, this is a time of war, of arguing, of fighting, of getting frustrated, of just feeling irritable or frustrated for no reason at all. It's not logical, it's not rational, it's emotional, it's feeling. It's coming from the watery realms of Cancer, and very unexplainable, intuitive, psychic impressions going on. We're all in this very sensitive place, Yeah, with Neptune and Chiron over there in Pisces, kind of, emptying out and dumping out this collective unconscious. Saturn up there in Scorpio, another water sign. So we have this watery realms just kind of going, and then we have this new moon. Kaboom. It's actually in a couple hours. I can't wait. Because what's happening is you're in that balsamic conjunction. It's called the dark moon. Yeah, the black moon phase, and it's this closing, finishing, completing, letting go, empty, empty, empty darkness, going kind of into the void. Yeah, as that moon comes around, and then starts the sun with a brand new cycle. Whoosh, it's going to be an amazing month. Yeah. I mean, it's really something. When I look at this, there's so much to talk about today. I don't know how I'm going to fit this all in, and it's all scattered. It's not really logical, rational, ordered. But here goes. The Sabian symbol for the degree of this new moon at the 24th degree of Cancer is a woman and two men cast away on an island in the South Seas. Now, Dane Rudyard, who I really appreciate, his astrological mandala with the Sabian symbols, really speaks to this. Yeah, gives a little, explanation about it, and it involves, it says, the three aspects of the human being. Yes, two of them masculine, one of them feminine. Cast away on an island in the South Seas. Yeah, need to get along, need to integrate, need to find harmonious ways of interacting. And what he says is this is the time of the feminine, which is the emotional. This three aspect of a human, yeah, is the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Is the way, he's interpreting this. And it's like, whoa. Yeah, so he's saying that the feminine is the emotional, the masculine is the mental and the spiritual, and somehow in some way it's almost inevitable that the feminine or the emotional body or the emotional world is going to connect, relate, find some kind of relationship to, yes, the mental and the spiritual, as we're cast away on the South Sea Islands. And the South is always associated with the passionate, the primitive, the sensuous, the sexual, the South energy, yes. When you do the four directions, if you really look into the South, it has to do, yes, with the earthly, passionate, reproductive energies within the human psyche, consciousness. So this is this time. Cancer, this feminine, this water, the emotional, we're all getting stirred up. Yeah? And memories are coming up, and blocked emotions are coming up. The source of all disease and all problems are these blocked emotions. And I was just really looking at this today, considering, well, what came first, the thought or the feeling? We know that feelings trigger thoughts, and we know that thoughts trigger feelings. It's like the chicken and the egg kind of a thing, and we have many, 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 many thoughts. And these many thoughts, trigger, they go faster than what we can consciously think. So there are, we have a lot of thoughts that are unconscious. And they trigger feelings, emotions, past issues. And it brings up, yeah, these feelings. So we're all dealing with Mars, Mercury, and Cancer. Is this need to protect ourselves, this need to, really, kind of go inward. Cancer is introversion. It's my inner child, my inner feelings, my inner needs, my inner memories. And it's like we're getting assaulted or attacked or whatever. It's like Pluto is weighing down upon us. Come out, go to work, do your duty, produce, show up in the outside world, but we've got all this stuff going on inside of us. So it's just you can have these feelings where you're just ready to, let it out, lash out. It's something anybody, and what I call it, displaced anger. We get frustrated or we have these emotions and these feelings come up, and we're in a state of sensitivity. And the best thing to do now is to realize and have mercy on yourself and give yourself room and give yourself space to feel your feelings. And also understand that, you know what, the dog barking or the camera not setting up right, or, you know, the person, emailing me when I'm trying to, focus or something, it's like these things are triggering us, but it's not that. Yeah, it's not the person, it's not the dog, it's not the camera. It's like, and so it's really time to go in. And I have this this mantra for today, that's very, powerful for that. I'm going to be coming to that shortly. But there is this need at this time to feel our emotions and to still our emotions and to, to really, how can I say, accept our emotions, our feelings, our needs, our fears, our sensitivities, as very important, beautiful, powerful aspects of ourselves, of our human nature, that give us the capacity and the ability to love. And this is where we come into the Sabian symbol for the 29th degree of Scorpio, where Saturn is just like stationing and sitting there for a whole freaking month. And it's really amazing. If we look back, this is a third quarter square for Venus, okay? And I've got the dates here, yeah? It was, if we look back, the original conjunction, and if you've, some of you may want to do this, go back in your biography. Venus was conjunct Saturn at the 26th degree of Scorpio. Yes, back in November 10th of 2014. Last November was the seed of Venus conjuncting with Saturn. Then she came around to the first quarter square on January 30th. Saturn was at 4 Sag. Then she came around and opposed Venus opposite Saturn, April 14th. Now she's coming into the third quarter square. Okay? And this is, last week, July 13th, but then she's going to go into Virgo, come back, square Saturn again, August 5th, and finally, come back for the third pass, October 10th, and then move around, and this cycle will complete itself on January 8th of 2016. This is more than a year of really, and let's look at it, Venus and Saturn. Venus is our values, our priorities, our ability to love ourselves and to accept ourselves as valuable, beautiful, wonderful, awesome beings that through that self-love and self-acceptance create a vibration and relate, attract love, peace, and harmony, and we find that in our relationships and in the world. So Venus has to do with our priorities, with our values, and our sense of self-worth, which also are reflected in our ability to love and be loved. Yeah? So the two sides of Venus, Taurus and Libra. Now, Saturn is form, structure, maturity, duty, commitment. And so what Saturn and Venus, when Saturn and Venus come together, Saturn wants to, really solidify, concretize, if you think of concrete. Take these values, take these priorities, yeah, to really get this down, make it real. Make laws or contracts or commitments around, my money, around my relationships, I really want to incarnate, yes, this Venusian energy into forms. And so, you know, and how does this happen? Well, it's very interesting because the Sabian symbol, yeah, you know, for this Saturn-Venus cycle has so much to do, yeah, now with an Indian squaw pleading with the chief, yes, to, you know, let go of her sons that created a disturbance. Something like that. It is love as redemption. Yeah? And so this is our feminine squaw. The squaw is the Indian, which symbolizes, you know, this beautiful, again, this feminine emotional nature appealing to, yes, you know, the chief or the spirit, you know, the chief is the organizing principle, which is the masculine energy, yeah? And it's this feminine interacting with the masculine because the Mars, this is like Mars in Cancer, you know, the sons created a disturbance within the tribe, within the collective. So we have, you know, within ourselves, we take this all inside. There is this, you know, stirring up aspect of ourselves that causes disturbances. And it's only through, yeah, forgiveness and acceptance, you know, that we can come into a place of compassion with ourselves and compassion and stop blaming the outside world and other people. And that's how we let go of the anger, of the frustration, of the energy around the past, and free ourselves. The moon goes into Leo, yeah, tomorrow, Thursday. And you know, and then the sun is going to be going into Leo next week, and Venus and Jupiter, you know, are going to be in Leo. We're going to have a lot of Leo coming on, yeah? And so this Cancer is kind of like releasing the past to give birth. Leo in the 5th house and the sun have to do with children and creation. So we're going to be entering and we're coming into this very creative time. And the moon is going to like foreshadow it. And what we need to do is be at peace. Come to peace with ourselves and the world. It's like, you know, cleaning the slate so that we can start again in a beautiful way with a new sunrise. And the dawn of a new day reveals everything changed. So when that sun goes into Leo next week, everything is going to be like changing. But right now, you know, it's like clean it up, finish it up, and let it go so that we can really like boom, yeah, move forward and redeem. It's redemption. It's very powerful. And I hope that makes sense. I'm going to tie it all together, yeah, with this mantra. This mantra is an ancient old Hawaiian mantra. Yeah, it's Ho'oponopono, and it's a meditative. Below the YouTube video here, I'm going to send you a link, yeah, to you know, a couple of YouTube channels, you know, where you can really, there's some music, you know, that goes beyond this and goes with this, and it's just basically very simple. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Very, very, very simple. Yeah? I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You can bring any old relationship, any person, any situation, any Illuminati, any ISIS characters, any terrorists, any, you know, rapists, anybody, everybody, the planet, Gaia, the universe, the extraterrestrials, whatever, bring these images into your heart, into your space, into your imagination. And just really go into a place, you know, of I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. This brings up It'll bring up all the feelings and all the emotions. It is so purifying. It is so purging. It is so cleansing. It is so liberating, you won't believe it. You just repeat this over and over and over again with anybody. It's a beautiful meditation. And what you find is that you come into forgiving yourself and just being yourself and accepting yourself. And this is like so awesome for, you know, Venus and the Venus square Saturn that's going on for this whole month. Yeah? And this new moon in Cancer, getting in touch with our inner child. And right now the sun is in trine, a beautiful trine to Chiron, the wounded healer in Pisces, which has so much to do with loving, compassion, and forgiveness. So it's like, yes, we can get caught up, you know, and you know, in the frustration and in the anger and in what's wrong and in what happened and how I am blocked or what failed, or, you know, I mean, we can beat ourselves up or we can beat other people up, or, you know, I mean, this like Mercury, Mars, you know, opposite Pluto, just wants to like lash out and, you know, punch somebody in the face, you know. It's just like whoosh. The way to work with it, the way around it, the way to integrate it, the way to release it so that we can really move forward into this amazing, awesome, wonderful time when that sun moves, you know, next into Leo and joins with Jupiter. Venus comes back into Leo. It's going to be a good time coming up. But right now, cut it. Cut with the past. And the way to cut with the past, you know, Mars is the sword quality. Cutting that past, cutting, letting go of the old. Pluto is death, and again, letting go so that we can resurrect in a new way. The way to do that is with this Ho'oponopono. It's awesome, marvelous, wonderful. May you meditate on it. Maybe I'll do like a webinar. You know, it'd be awesome. That was too freaking good, man. The wind blew the camera over. Yeah. Maybe I'll see you later. Namaste. Aloha. So much love. Yeah.